are some of your passions outside of Pilates?
Oh my God! Look, surf about sports, right? Sport is
Yes.
surf is my favorite one from many years
Okay.
ago. To see friends now, not now, but when
Yeah.
this thing passed away, I've got a group of friends that we play on Wednesdays sometimes.
Okay.
So soccer's already there. Next day, I have to do 3 sessions of Pilates to my knee and my ankle and my back.
Right.
But
Right.
I enjoy that. So it's one of them as well. So I can't get rid of that. It's impossible. It's in my veins. Yeah. So I'm located in south of Portugal, in Algarve. We decided to move here 2 years ago. I had a studio for 11 years in Seville.
Okay.
It's not far away from me. It's about 2 hours and a half driving. So we decided to go for a more quiet lifestyle. And so we are in a little village. Probably we have like 200 people living here, no more than
Okay.
that in this little village. And so I decided to do my house and my studio, my home studio, as you can see around this where I am now. So I have to give 10 steps between my house and my studio.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
long commute
very
there.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very lucky. And so when one of the proposals was as well creating here like a Pilates camp as well, where all the students that we have from UNO-PILATES could join us and do like a year meeting, sometimes twice a year. And what we do as well is the intensive program when people comes here and stay 1 week with us. I've got 4 during the year. So
Okay.
we do for people who are already teachers,
Yes.
and we also refine the skills. We go deep in the method, and to be honest, I think it's more just study is to practice and living this and be more physical more than reading books and just be here. We start at the 8:30 and just go until 5:05 in the night, like non-stop, 1 hour and a half to eat, and that's it.
That's awesome. So it's like, how long have you been running these Pilates retreats for then?
Well, the first one was from Pilatology Camp, was their ideas to do a camp here. We call them Fit Camp in
Okay.
September 2018. That's when the house was ready. So we're like moving all the things from Seville in the end of August and beginning of September. We had the 40 people, almost 40 people here in my house. Was madness,
Wow.
but
Yes.
everything was perfectly done, and we had fun. We had workouts every day. We had walk by the beach and the beautiful cliffs that we've got here around in the area.
Yes.
So the proposal was a balance between rest, play, and workouts. Like we
Yeah.
have that
Oh,
a
that's
mix
awesome.
of things. Yeah,
Yeah. That's amazing.
yeah, Martin, I just think.
You mentioned about like building the business to a point where you can just go somewhere with it. Are you big on the business side, like building your brand and like thinking intentionally around that strategic side of things as well?
I was really bad on that. I'm gonna be honest with you, really bad. But luckily, I've got a friend from childhood that is helping us to create that brand. What is UNO-PILATES, the school?
Okay.
And as you know, like nowadays, the image is everything, right? Because you've got the
Yes.
image, the video, the Instagrams, Facebooks, especially all those big tools, because they are the showcase, right? Our showcase to the world, I'm saying, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we are a lot of people now doing amazing job. Like really, I think we've got amazing teachers in the market, to be honest, and I'm really happy for that, because if you think what brought us here was to share the word of these men who invented these methods. Joseph Pilates,
Yes.
when you read his little books, was I see myself and I see my method in 50 years, because I think he was really 50 years ahead of his time.
Yes. Yes.
Totally. So his big dream was to everyone at home doing his work, right? To share to everyone, because he truly believed that everyone could be healthier, just to do into this workout. And I totally believe on that. So based on that, nowadays we've got amazing teachers. So the competence when it's all about baking business and the market is huge. Of course, it is huge. And I'm talking about the healthy competence, not the one that is going to go, and kill you and step on you. I'm saying the one, we all have business, we all have life, we all want to live. People enjoying what are we doing. And I think the most important part is you can see an image, they look nice, but you have to come here and feel it. Otherwise, you can have a good marketing, you can have whatever, but if you're not good in work, you will work once, but twice you will not work, right? So
yes, I know it's so true, right? So you said like Joseph Ply's vision, 50 years, people do. I think when I talk about my vision with Pilates, I do a lot with that real men do Pilates, like Joseph Ply's being a man and him wanting it to be connecting with men, and as it became more about women doing Pilates. I feel like I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back to men, bring it back to athletes. And that is really my vision with Pilates, is getting men to recognize that. What would you say is like central to you, your vision for UNO-PILATES?
Well, first of all, I totally agree with you. I think, and that was one of my fights, not fights, I would say like one of my goals, all right, to bring men to Pilates as well. It is true, and I agree with you again, that it become much more a women thing. And let me do just a parenthesis. There is women really, really strong that they do amazing Pilates in every ways. I need another life. I need another life to get to be like them.
To catch up. Yes.
Exactly. So I truly admire them. But why I'm saying that is because men still thinking this is a women thing or just for old people thing and just a rehab thing. I don't know when was the turning out point of this. I know that thanks to Romana, these method survives, and through the ballerines, of course, because they spread the word.
Yes.
Because Romana brought all the dancers, from New York and started with Pilates, and from there created amazing teachers, and thanks to that, spreading the word around the world with Pilates. I want to have men's as well on this Pilates world. I want to have athletes as well bringing there, and I'm trying to do. I've been working with some athletes in the shadow, because sometimes for them it's like, all right, you just want to take advantage of me and have more names. So I prefer to just to keep them down, but I want to be them, to say, all right, guys, I'm doing this, and this works a lot. This is a compliment for my daily workout. And oh my God, I still remember these words when he finished that. He said, oh my God, this is such a new challenge. And he's a guy that has been punched in the face like all the time. And so he finished that saying, this is hard. This is, I need this for the complement to my daily routine, because he's doing 2-3 workouts a day. Technique, strength, flexibility, and then he came the Pilates to his life. He said, "Oh, when are you gonna come here again?" Blah blah blah. So I was really happy to have this feedback from him. It makes me happy when people just realize that Pilates is for everyone, literally for everyone. Everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I love. So you basically punched him in the face with Pilates, is what you did.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and I respect the fact that you're saying like training with them in the shadows. Like, I mean, a lot of times we want to do things to get that notoriety, to say I'm a trainer for the stars sort of thing. It doesn't matter if they're seeing results; they'll point back to you. Like, you don't have to put the spotlight on yourself.
Exactly. Martin. That's my feeling. But anyway, we all think different, and I just want to take advantage of them, and publishing that everywhere that we are. Oh, well, I am with them. I am the one. Because one of the things, and if you let me, please, to talk just a little bit about it.
Yes.
One of the things that people sometimes don't realize, when we talk Pilates for athletes, I do treat exactly the same way, when an athlete comes to my studio and looking for me for my Pilates, I will treat him exactly the same way that I treat my mom here. Exactly.
Yes.
I will never change nothing, not for my mom or for the athlete. Of course, I will challenge because I will see the needs that he have applying Pilates to the body. So I will watch the body and I'll give him. So I don't have like levels. This is going to be basic because it's his first class, or it's going to be intermediate because I already do it. No, I'm going to give a Pilates for his body. So I go with the body.
Good word. Yep.
So that is one of the things that gives me as well the more just say encouragement just to go right. All right. So because we all have needs, right? Because of our daily posture. Even surfing, the guy's paddling all the time, so his trapeze, his back, his lower back, so we need to compensate that. And if he can help in his support, I will have that. For my mom, of course, she will need to do that because she's cleaning or whatever, or she's doing things. She likes to walk for miles. Exactly, she's active, so I'm going to get classes for her as well. Or if you become a person with, a pole that was recently operated or something, I will treat him exactly the same. When people sometimes ask, Miguel, Pilates for athletes, what I could do? I would just do Pilates to them.
Yeah. Yes. So if the top football star in all of Spain comes to you, or some person who comes in just straight out of surgery, you're treating them with Pilates. You're not treating them with advanced Pilates for athletes, or corrective exercise for Pilates for, like, there's no title for it. It's Pilates.
It's Pilates, Martin. And
I talk with people like yourself who treat Pilates like Pilates.
Yeah, I think, Martin, back to the little bit of beginning of our conversation, what is going to be useful, so much knowledge, and if you don't know how to share it, or if you don't want to share it, why are you going to do that? Beautiful. It is true.
And I thought that was, that is so, that was such a great line, because that's it. No matter how high we get in this Pilates world and who we say that we've taught with, and how many, amazing things we've achieved, we need to be white belts forever. We need to be people who are always learning. And there's going to be some young buck who just learns Pilates that has a great eye, or has some great words, or has some fantastic tactile cues that none of us have seen before. And if we're so above them that we don't take a chance to receive that, we're not going to benefit.
Totally agree with you, 100%. And I think that the sharing of experience between us teachers, I think it should be more and more comprehensive between all of us. And like True and Pure Pilates said, like, too much ego doesn't help this community. We are just a small community. If you think like worldwide globally thinking,
you're right.
We are really small. So why not be together and share, and we learn. There is no right or wrong. All right, there is no black and white. We have to play around between that and say, all right, I've seen this, I like it. What do you feel in the body? Let's share. Just give me a tactile cues. I'll give it to you a class. You give it to me. So I think this experience of giving and receiving, what it should be, natural and like very human, let's say like that, more than ever now, like this sharing thing, I think should be totally in our veins. Have you ever let a newer teacher work you out? Of course. Yes, I did. Look, when we do our intensive here, we do probably Dominic Bendy's here. She was one of the victims of that. Fernando is here as a Brazilian friend as well. So Dominic is one of these examples, and she could write down. I made her teach me. They were on the third seminar. I said, Dominic, I'm going to be your body for you to teach me. And she panicked. Oh my God. Like, yes. So I was a little bit, I wouldn't say mean to her, but I was saying, right, I was bitten by a shark. I was like putting things on her head. My right leg doesn't work, so how you can do things to me?
Oh no, that's mean.
So, but it was like to get out of the comfort zone. She remember that. So getting out of the comfort zone. So and I push her to the limits. That's why I like to do to the new students, but in a good way, not a bad way. I like to push them to out of the comfort zone, get out of there. You will get these on the real life. So I put my body, and I know that I will learn something with a new teacher, like no experience. I'm there.
Yes,
I like to do that. I just, for me, it's always a learning. You always
for
can
sure.
learn how to do or how not to do. So it's always learning, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and you're setting them up for success. I mean, she sounds like she's a little bit scarred by the experience here.
Yeah. But she's good. She's doing good now.
Nice. So Miguel, you said something earlier that I caught that is something that I don't hear very many people say. I know that I say it, but when we're talking about the stuff that Joseph Pilates did, I hear people use his name so casually. Oh, Joe said this, Joe said that, Joe said this. Whereas I'm like, it's Mr. Pilates. This is an icon. You know, you see, like you treat people with respect. And I'm not saying to everyone out there who's watching that stop calling him Joe and start calling him Mr. Pilates. But I did notice that you said Mr. Pilates, and that's one of the things that even when I'm typing, I say like Mr. Pilates taught this or Mr. Pilates said that. It's almost like just a man-to-man respect, possibly, as opposed to a casual address of this person, even though they're not alive. But you know what's funny? I just caught that.
Yeah, for me, I think, to be honest, probably I use Joe, but a few times I always say Mr. Pilates. I think he's a Mister, and in every ways, he was a, I know, a person that should be respected in every ways. And I would never say Uncle Joe, never. I think his work is to be respectful. I've got nothing against who says Joe's or Uncle Joe, no.
No.
But I think is a, I always treat people that I know by Mister. Hi, Mister, how are you doing? Like is a cultural thing that I have. Probably is
Right.
because of that as well. I don't know.
Yeah. Perhaps.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
but for me, is like you said, is Mr. Pilates anyway. It will always be, not
Yes.
Joe.
Not sure. Yeah, everybody. I was going to ask about your virtual presence now with your business being at home and everything that's happened. What pivots have you made with your business to be able to survive in this quarantine time?
So the first one, I was like, oh my God, when is this gonna stop? Because I need bodies to touch. I'm very there and the people. So like teaching on Skype. I used to have as well a few classes before.
Okay.
So instead of being resigned with this, I started to accept and saying, right, this is what we have now, Miguel. This is the new thing that we have, and I think it's a kind of shortcut when we've got friends in another part of the world, and
Yes.
you can teach them as well, and they can teach you as well, right?
Yes.
Of course, it's not the same thing that you are in front of the person and have the contact energy and everything. But Martin, I have to admit there's one thing. 2 weeks ago, when I was through a class, like I was giving a class and I was watching, and I realized as well how useful can be this new technology to give classes, because with less you can do a lot. And when I'm saying that is, all right, I've got the camera in the right place, and the Wi-Fi works really good, and all the connection is good.
Yes.
You really can step out and see the whole picture.
Yes.
Right, so I find out that there was like a kind of bling, we happened a light here and said, wow, this is not so bad as I thought.
Cameras. I have a client that I've trained for probably 5-6 years now, and doing our first class online, I saw something that I had to adjust that I never saw when she was standing in front of me live, and I gave that cue and I was like, you've always done that. How come I've never seen that?
That's too good.
So it's perspective, it's vantage points, right? Like you see different things based on where the camera is, or just be able, like you said, to step outside of it. Yeah, we are adjusting to it, and it can be a good thing when you look at it from that perspective as well.
Yeah, I just think like that. And sometimes and I speak against myself as well, sometimes we are too much in the person that we don't see the whole pictures. And sometimes we talk too much and we see the whole picture. So sometimes being out, like in the camera, you just are watching. It's like all your eyes and mind are focused on the person that is moving. Nothing will go around. I know. This is, anyway, is my feeling. I don't know if everyone's feeling. I hope it is, but it's my feeling.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. We spend so much time working in the business that we don't spend enough time working on the business. And this time that we're in right now is allowing us to look back and work on the business in certain areas that we've probably kind of put on the back burner for another day.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's the case for you now? You'll be able to spend some time focusing on some pieces of the business that you didn't have time to before?
Totally. We are actually we're doing that with this friend that I told you. We are redoing things. We are rethinking. We call it the time of redoing, rethink
Yes.
the things. So I think it's important for us at school. I know we are like watching our website, for example, watching our books, how we could get better there. Speaking with Fabien as well. Fabien, what we're going to do with the school. So it's time to can rethink the things. We can, redoing all the manuals. For example, we just watch the way that we are giving the seminars, how we can get better in that. Putting the things that we've got in the head in paper, write it down, and then putting it in action. So I think this is the perfect time of getting advantage of this stopping. Like, you're right, the world said you have to stop. You cannot travel, you cannot get out of the house. So why not just to take advantage of this time and, of course,
like refine your business.
Yeah, and we find the best. I think everyone should do that. Even the image, take nice pictures now and, go to your website, go to your Instagram account, for example. I always recommend that to everyone. Let's see what people is doing the best around the world, because I think there are amazing people working their Instagram accounts, their social media. I think there are amazing jobs there, amazing initiatives as well. So watch them and don't do a copy, because I'm totally against the copies, but get ideas of that and create your own label, your own brand. And it's time to reaffirm. See again, reaffirm your in the market. Yeah, but I agree with you. It's time to be more as well on the business as well, because it's a time to change, for everyone. New opportunities will come. So why not to take advantage of that?